What's up, everybody? Noah Kaser back here for another episode of Noah Kaser Live. I have nothing to talk about today, so that's the end of the stream. In all honesty, we have a shitload to talk about, and I'm not talking like 4 or 5 things. I'm talking 17. But I'm not alone today. I have 2 newcomers to the channel, well, to my show. I had them on for one thing. It was the Inside Out 2 spoiler, but I got Gavin.
Hey.
And then Cam.
Hey.
And you can see their handles right below their name there. Check out their YouTube channels and their Instagrams. Fantastic channels. Gavin does reviews every single week of the new releases. And Cam is a comic book guy. He loves comics. And he even talks about some Marvel movies leading up to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's go through these assload of topics. First up, Inside Out 2. This movie just keeps going, man.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. This movie even shocked me. This is the 5th biggest opening of the 5th biggest animated movie ever. Out of all the animated movies that ever came out, it is now the biggest all-time animated film.
Wow.
$234 million. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. And I think they still have like at least like a month left still in exclusively theaters.
Exactly. But that's not the only thing. So going back here, I actually pulled this up, and this is phenomenal to me. This is exciting because we're going to take a look at the biggest all-time animated box office. It's number 5, the 5th biggest animated movie ever.
Jeez, wow.
It only needs $40 million to beat Frozen. 40 million.
Yeah, it's beating Frozen. I don't think that's...
The fact that it even can beat Frozen is remarkable for the movie.
Now, let's be 100% honest right now, okay? Right now, it is not. As of right now, it is not the number 5. And I'm going to explain why. They forgot one. They forgot one, and it's The Lion King 2019.
Oh,
it's live action, but it's CGI animated.
Right.
So, right now it's number 6, but in full-on cartoon style, it's number 5. What do you think is the limit? Do you see it beating Mario Bros?
Going off of the fact that it still has like a month-ish left to go, I think it'll do fine, especially because like I think Twisters is going to have a pretty well opening weekend. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to kill it opening weekend. So I think it just determines, like, because obviously it's a family film, Deadpool's R-rated. I think it just comes down to the fact, will it hold up against, will it still keep its legs going after Deadpool releases when most people have already gotten the chance to see Inside Out maybe once or twice. So I think it just determines how well it does for the rest of July and if it carries into August a bit. But I think it could. I think it's going to for sure beat Frozen, and I think it's either just going to reach Mario Bros or it's going to be right under Mario Bros.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get very, very close to Mario. I don't think it's gonna hit it. But I also wasn't sure if this movie was gonna make $1 billion. So my predictions haven't been very accurate so far. But I will say I think it's gonna still make money progressively through Deadpool and Wolverine's release purely because it is an R-rated movie. But I think the real only reason this movie would see a drop, specifically this upcoming weekend, is Despicable Me, which is doing really well, which we are going to talk about later. But yeah, I mean, it's probably, I think it is going to sneak up there and get close to Mario. I don't think it will beat it, but as Kaden said, it still is like a month exclusively in cinema, so we never know.
I was the person who said it's not going to beat Frozen. And now I'm eating crow. This thing will not beat Frozen 2. If it beats Frozen 2, I mean, this thing has legs. Like Wonka had legs. Wonka opened decent. but then it made over $570 million worldwide.
Yeah.
Now, with Inside Out 2, it's going to beat Incredibles 2 by Thursday. It's already going to beat it by Thursday. So it's beat Incredibles 2. This weekend, it's at least going to take a 40% drop. This weekend, it will beat Frozen. It'll beat Frozen worldwide, making it the third all-time biggest movie. We'll consider this list anyways. So with this, we're going to go into the next topic, which is still about the box office, but not the full box office, because there's a lot to talk about with the box office. We have Despicable Me 4 opens to $200+ million worldwide. Now,
Yes.
I'm seeing this on Thursday. My family wants to see this together. I'm like, okay, so I waited. Even I went, this isn't going to open $200 million. And it didn't on the 3-day weekend. 5-day weekend it did. This movie just keeps going. This franchise keeps going. Regardless of what we think about the film, families are eating this up at $240 million.
Yes.
To put this in context, let me just bring this up. This thing opened, well, to make this even better, let's take a look at what the weekend chart did for Inside Out 2. $30 million. All right. Let's take a look at Furiosa. Furiosa, if the internet would work, that'd be amazing. Okay, here we go. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, opened, well, its domestic box office is at $67 million.
Yes.
So looking at the box office for the opening weekend was $26 million. Inside Out 2 made more money than Furiosa did in its opening weekend.
Oh, my heart.
But to put that in even worse context, and I'm bringing this up only because Cam's on the stream, I'm going to bring up Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at Madam Web, all right? Yeah. 43.8 million domestic.
Keep in mind, even when I'm not at my own house, I still represent Madam Web. I made my grandma put up a poster.
But let's take a look at this. Opening weekend, it doubled. Inside Out 2 doubled in its fourth weekend what Madam Web did in its opening weekend. What this movie did, Despicable Me 4, is incredible. It's incredible. $75 million opening weekend. 122 within the 5-day. But 240 since it's opened last Thursday. To say this made an ass ton of money, this made an ass ton of money.
Yes, it does.
This reached $1 billion.
I think so. I think
it's gonna get there, or it's gonna get like 800 million and like plateau, and then it's gonna just kind of steeply go out from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think because almost every single movie, like the newest one, before this one was Minions 2, The Rise of Gru, which made like $940 million, and so that one got close. So about every single one of these movies made almost, or they did make $1 billion. So I see that carrying over here, especially with the summer release of the movie, which was a good plan. And you know, families just eat up these friggin' Minions. They will go see them. Now, here's my thing. I hated this movie. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5. I hated it. But here's the thing. Would I rather be like, yeah, if you're going to go take your kids to a movie, go see Inside Out 2. That's my thing. However, this is the kind of movie where there's a lot going on, but at the same time, you will catch yourself just kind of watching the movie. Like, you're watching it and you're engaged with it, but nothing's going on up here, and you're just experiencing it in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what kids are going to appreciate. They're going to enjoy it. A lot of kids at my screening came out being like, I love the movie, and they were laughing along with it. So it's going to be a big hit. Already is a big hit. So I think there's a potential for it to make $1 billion, but I will say I think it's going to close out with a minimum of around $850 million.
I have to agree. This thing is going to open in more countries now because it hasn't opened everywhere yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has maybe more countries this weekend, but what I think is going to hinder this is Deadpool. Deadpool, I don't care if it's rated R. Kids love Deadpool.
Yeah.
Kids love Deadpool. They have Deadpool shirts at Walmart for kids right now, I think. Deadpool shirts.
They do.
So Deadpool and Wolverine is going to open big, and we'll talk about that in just a couple weeks because the box office tracking has gone down. The hype is starting to go down for the box office, but this is going to open, Jesus Christ, make big money, $850 million minimum, I think, minimum. What makes this so interesting is it's already made its budget back and then some. It's already a profitable movie. Already profitable with what it's already done.
Because what cost $100 million, I believe, the budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
So $100 million, probably $50 million for the marketing. You pretty much double the production budget. It's already profitable to me. Taking out the third that the theaters take, by right now, it's already made another $1 million just with what we've been doing right now. Screenings have started, and it's already made another $1 million.
Yeah, we're probably going to end up getting. I won't be surprised if within the next year or so we get the announcement of Minions 3 or Despicable Me 5. I honestly think if this one hits $1 billion, they're probably going to do Despicable Me 5 first, just because that one is. Because I don't think Despicable Me 1 made $1 billion, but I believe 2 and 3 did. I know 3 did.
Yes, 3 did. Minions did, as did Minions 2, The Rise of Gru.
Almost 940, which at that point.
Almost. Now, with that being said, I have not liked either Minions movie, but I loved Despicable Me 3. That was a great movie, really? As was 1 and 2. But with that movie, I went in there and I was expecting this to be a very happy-go-lucky movie experience. Instead, I walked in there, I'm like, oh crap. There's tons of kids here. It's a fully packed theater, standing room only. Grandparents sitting behind me with a 4-year-old who I'm like, she's not going to care. She was more respectful than the freaking grown-ups were. The Minions farted, and she was just losing her mind. Gru got hit. Something happened. Every single scene she was laughing. When a little kid behind you is laughing, they're having the time of their life. That bumps my grade up. Just because they're having a good time. Which makes me have a good time.
But I totally agree with you on that. I think the only film that could contend with Despicable Me is Deadpool, because kids and teenagers love Deadpool because of the dry humor. So that's going to pull that audience in, and they're like, can we go see the new Marvel movie? Not really knowing, hey, it's rated R, but it's funny stuff. And then parents and a bit of older people are going to want to go see it because Hugh Jackman is back as Wolverine. So this film is going to pull in both audiences to it, and I think that's the only thing that's going to knock out Despicable Me.
So in the entire Minions Despicable Me franchise, only 2 of them have hit $1 billion, and that was Despicable Me 3 and Minions were the only 2. But other than that, Despicable Me was 544, but then Despicable Me 2 was 975. Despicable Me was 1.03. Despicable Me is probably going to get close. And then Minions was at 1.1. And then obviously, Minions 2 was 940. So apart from the first movie, they've all gotten just in a hair of that $1 billion mark at minimum.
And we just have to admit, right? The Minions are annoying. They're really annoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they make money.
Yeah.
They make money.
Print money.
And they are in front of every Illumination movie, whether it's Mario, whether it's Migration, whether it's whatever they put out. Illumination. It's the Minions. Before Despicable Me, I don't know if Illumination would even be a big company right now without these yellow guys.
Yeah, and I will say, Despicable Me 4 probably, I didn't laugh much in the movie. When I did laugh, it was honestly, I'm going to be fully honest here, it was with what they were doing with the Minions. So there is actually there's a good few bits in the movie with the Minions that I thought were pretty funny. So
yeah, but whether we like it or not, the Minions are not going anywhere. So
yeah, this movie prints money.
Yeah.
We could say the same thing about SpongeBob, right?
Mhm.
SpongeBob, people say they're running it into the ground. Well, guess what? Next week, he turns 25 years old. That show turns 25. He's the same age as me. I've been around as long as SpongeBob. I remember when they had their 10-year anniversary, and they did 48 hours straight on Nickelodeon of just SpongeBob. Minions is going to stay around for as long as SpongeBob is, I guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
They will be around forever. Whether it's in the mini shorts, whether it's in full feature films, they're going to be around forever. I mean, I may not love them, but they print money. Even for adults. Before we move on to our next topic, I was just at work today, and I went on our website. They have Crocs that are shaped like Minions. Minion Crocs.
Yeah.
For adults. And people are buying them. They're buying them.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
Oh
So
yeah,
the next
I know
one-
Crocs. I'm a big Croc guy. My main pair. One, I have a Buzz Lightyear pair. Two, I have a Spider-Man pair, and that's my main thing. I love, like, I'm part of the problem that they keep making the silly kid stuff because I buy it. Like,
Well, I mean, you keep my store open.
yeah,
So-
that's true. Yeah,
You keep our company open, so I'm happy.
yeah, you're welcome for that. Yeah,
But this is the reason that I love this show, having guests on, because you guys bring up topics that I wasn't even going to bring up. So this is Spider-Man. Spider-Man Noir episode count and casting.
Yes.
This is huge, okay? Nobody knew how big Spider-Man Noir was going to be in Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse. We didn't know. It was just like, what, 15 seconds? Maybe?
yeah.
Well, guess what? He's getting his own Amazon series. So it's official. Let me pull this up here. So many topics. Here we go. We have an official title and a Spider-Man Noir. It adds New Girl star and gets the official title. I don't know where it went. Okay. My computer just glitched. That was amazing. Okay. So we have Lamorne Morris has joined the cast of the upcoming Spider-Man Noir series at Prime Video, which has officially given its new title. Nicolas Cage did also announce that it was going to be consisting of 8 episodes. So, what are your overall thoughts on this? Are you happy about the 8 episodes? Do you think that's enough time to flesh out the entire series? And do you want a weekly strategy or just drop them all at once like Amazon Prime does? Usually,
I think that 8 episodes is fine. It is, by all accounts, like the new standard for television shows. I think the 8 episodes is fine. But I am excited. I will say, like, the fact that we're getting a Spider-Man Noir show he's such a cool character. So that already excites me. When you're getting Nicolas Cage back, which is also very, very cool. I will say though, with the plot of the show being like he's a detective who's not Spider-Man Noir anymore, he's obviously going to don the suit in the show. They wouldn't be doing it if they weren't going to do that, unless it's Madam Web. But I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I will also say it's weird that we've had 3 different titles for the show now. Pretty much, we had Noir, then we had Spider-Man Noir, and now we have Spider Noir. I think, and this is just me as a creator, as a film critic, as all my stuff, I think it probably would have been best if the title was just Spider-Man Noir, because that Spider-Man name will get more clicks. But also Spider Noir, you'll know I mean, look at the Spider-Verse movies, how much money they made. That was really like the first opening to a lot of people knowing about him. So I think it'll work most likely in the show's favor. I'm excited. I think it'll be probably good. I mean, we know, especially with The Boys, what I've seen of Invincible, they know how to make good superhero shows.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it. So, I'd say I'm excited for sure.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Spider-Noir. One, I'm happy that Nick Cage is coming back. It's not as his Spider-Verse variant because this is an original character. He's not playing a variant of Peter Parker, which is, I think, this is probably the best way Sony has used the rights that they still own to the like Spider-Man world and using this story. I also think the story is interesting, and 8 episodes is the perfect runtime for that. Because we are getting a new version, but I think it's cool that it's like a world that used to have a Spider-Man, and then a mystery pops up, and he has to don that identity again to figure it out. So I think that's really cool. And we also found out, this is just a rumor, but that Sandman was going to make an appearance too somewhere in the show, which I think is awesome. I hope they adopt like a black and white style for that. I think if it was in black and white, that'd be really cool, but I doubt it would be. But I just hope they capture like the 1920s aesthetic really well for the show, because if they capture the aesthetic and the story is good, I think it'll be great. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Now, I will say, in regards to Sandman, I'd rather not, because for me it's the same thing with the Batman, how they like might be doing Clayface for part 2. There's such stories, especially for the Batman, where I feel like grounded, which is hard to say, especially with Spider-Man. I think if they did more of like the real characters that aren't crazy, that he can turn into sand, I think it would be better if it was more of the grounded style Spider-Man characters. I think it'd work better.
Did they say Noir was going to be more grounded?
I don't know.
Yes.
I think but for the character of Spider-Noir, I think it would work better.
Yeah, I still think there's a way to do Sandman a bit that is grounded, but I also like that they're still embracing the source material, because I think you can do grounded and still incorporate kind of goofier aspects in the adaptation too. And I think I think it should be like a 1920s mobster Sandman. That would be really cool.
That'd be cool. They could do it. I will say, also, kind of off topic, but I will say, I hope they don't do Sandman for the Batman part 2. I would rather do like that, whatever that
Clayface,
whatever they do for that, like, I think if they did that like pig character or something from the comics, that really fucked up character, I think that would work so much cooler. But they can't. But they have to make him, because like the Riddler in the movie and the Batman, and then the pig character, from what I've seen, what they've done it's a little similar.
Yeah.
In how they do stuff, like the serial killer stuff, but like they could make something like really scary. So again,
well, let's lean into both characters, right? Because both characters, Spider-Man and Batman, have animated series coming to Amazon. So with the Batman, the Caped Crusader coming out on August 1st, if that's not good, if they go the same route with this, I don't know how they're going with it. I don't know if it's darker. I don't know if it's lighter, if it's action-packed. I'm keeping all the trailers away from me, everything about that Batman show, because Batman's my favorite superhero. I love that dude to death. If that show fails, if it's bad, if they don't go the route they're supposed to, will this hinder your excitement for Spider-Man with what Amazon did with Batman? Arguably the two biggest superheroes in each field of DC and Marvel. I
don't think so. Purely for the reason that like this wasn't compared to the other shows, this wasn't an in-house Amazon production. It was made with HBO. Shocker, they dropped it. Yep. And then Amazon bought the rights to it. And I think that's really like my big thing is that, and by the way, I've seen the trailer for Batman Caped Crusader. I think it looks great. I'm very excited to watch it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's totally fair that it could, especially for other people who don't really realize all the stuff that happened with Caped Crusader, it could hinder a lot of experiences for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it could hinder at least somewhat, because like I just don't know the stuff in the background that was developed with Cape Crusader, but I still think it could hinder some of my excitement because I haven't watched the trailer for Cape Crusader. I've seen stuff from it, and I think just the concept alone is really interesting. And so I think it could hinder my excitement of a Spider-Man animated series, but at the same time, knowing myself, Spider-Man's like my second favorite character in fiction of all time. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. But I think it would hinder my excitement and definitely some general audience excitement too.
Now, you want to talk about exciting animated projects? The two Watchmen movies we're getting, I think look awesome. We're getting a full trailer tomorrow. I can't wait to see what that's like. I am very much so anticipating it.
I'm hoping it's hard R.
Yes, same.
What they do with the hard R stuff is amazing. Now, if we're going to talk about animated stuff, next Tuesday, we get Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 3.
Yes.
So, I know you two have seen those.
Part 1. I didn't finish Part 2.
Okay. So, I was given the digital codes for Parts 1 and 2 by a good friend of ours. So, I'm going to buy Part 3 so I can just binge all 3, see if that helps.
Sure.
But with Watchmen, I'm very excited. With Watchmen, it's going to be characters I know nothing about. I know very little about the Watchmen.
Same.
I know everything about the Justice League. So I like seeing the animated stuff about the characters I don't know. So like a Green Lantern. But with that, Watchmen, oh, come on. If it's 2 parts, if they're 90 minutes apiece, just like Batman the Long Halloween, I loved those. That was perfect. They cut it off at the right time. Don't overstay your welcome. Make it 87 minutes and get the hell out of there.
But, I will say, I hated the first part for Crisis. And I was so bored during Part 2, and I didn't bother. And I also don't like the animation style. And initially, I was very, very skeptical of Watchmen, and I was like, they announced them at the same time. So who's to say what was what? And then, and then we got that first teaser trailer, and we saw what the animation looked like, and that it was 2 films. And that made me more excited. I just hope the writing is really good. It's like almost What If animation style for Watchmen, which is really cool. I love that style for it. So I am very much so happy about that. But I don't know. I hope it's good. I will say, if it's 90 minutes, choose the right cutoff point and don't overstuff it or leave a lot of stuff out. If they do like 2 hours, I think for both that might be a little bit too much. So I think if they found maybe hour 40 or something like that for both, that would be pretty good. So I am very much so gracefully anticipating the film to hope it's good. Both films really, because when there's something about a Part 1 and it comes out in that cutoff point, if the movie's great and also the cutoff point is great, you sold me right there, and I'm ready for the next one.
Speaking of highly anticipated films that you guys are anticipating, I am not. This is Longlegs.
Yes.
Longlegs. Now, before we get into the reactions, I'm going to explain why I'm not looking forward to this, all right? I'm full of chicken shit. I'm full of chicken shit. I don't enjoy this type of horror.
Sure.
But one reaction I saw made me go, I'm okay not seeing that right now. And it was this girl. I think it was Zach who sent it in the group chat. She said that during the movie, she felt like there was something just around her, some sort of just supernatural force that was around her, on top of her the entire movie. When she left, it was gone.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Exorcist reactions when I heard of the first movie in the 70s that came out.
Yeah, funny little story about Longlegs, so that happened right before stream, is me and Gav's mom texted us an article about the Rotten Tomatoes thing, and some of the early reactions of Longlegs. So I was like, that's funny that right before we talk about Longlegs a bit, my mom is sending me stuff about the movie. But yeah, I think it looks. I haven't watched. I haven't even watched the trailer yet. I've seen like a poster. I think
I've seen
for Longlegs.
posters.
Yeah, I get the posters with like that, and oddly enough, Sting confused, even though the movie's going to be any
Yeah.
similar.
I mean
Um,
titles. So
Yeah. So I think I've seen the poster, but I can't really place it. And the only thing I know is that Nick Cage is in it and the name of the main actress, and
Mike Monroe.
yeah, that's literally all I know. And so I'm excited to see what it is. I'm not excited for the movie itself per se, but I'm excited to see if the reactions are overhyped or not.
I am too. I'm trying to keep my expectations leveled as much as possible before going in, but also I have been avoiding the trailer like the plague for this movie. I've been avoiding as much footage as I can when the first initial marketing. I will say, this is some of the best horror marketing I think we've ever had for a movie. I think how they're marketing it is excellent, but I do hope it lives up to the hype so much. So yeah, speaking of reactions, let's talk about more of them. Yeah,
The only one that I went, this one might be a little bit better. Might be a little bit better in the marketing that I think is Smile. Smile and Smile 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were the best marketed ones I think I've seen in years. So out of nowhere, my reactions for Longlegs went bye-bye. So I need to pull those up again.
Now I will say for Smile, I loved when they just had people showing up and smiling around places. I loved that. The trailer made it seem like a much worse movie than it is. Smile's really good, and I really like the movie, but those trailers did not help. So I'm kind of thinking the same thing with Smile 2. That the trailer, I didn't love the trailer for Smile 2, but I mean, who knows? I like the concept of it. I'm happy to see more in this world. So I am keeping, hopefully, anticipation for Smile 2. But, I'm glad they got the same director back as well. Parker Finn. I'm glad he's back.
Well, I think it's time to panic, boys. Because, you know how Longlegs was at 100%?
It did drop. I did see that, yes.
Yes, I am being very facetious. It's only at 94%.
Oh, no!
So
49 reviews as well.
This is going to be awful because it dropped from 194. In all honesty, that's going to happen with every movie. There's only been so many movies in history with a lot of reviews that have made it and stuck at 100%. But let's take a look at some of the bigger critics who have seen this. And we're going to start off with Collider. Longlegs takes a bit to get settled into its brand of horror, but once it does, it's hard not to be impressed by the place between here and there where we find ourselves. Comicbook.com says, with its atmosphere and its narrative, Osgood Perkins keeps the audience at arm's length, feeling less like a movie and more like a nightmare you wish you could forget. 4 out of 5.
I will say, it's pretty good that the only 2 negative reviews shown on Rotten Tomatoes aren't even that bad of scores. They're 4 out of 10 and 2 out of 5 respectively. So, and they're not awful. They're on the rotten side, but they aren't the worst scores out there.
Let's take a look at these and see why. London Evening Standard, Nick says, hardcore obsessives of the horror genre might gorge their hearts out on this. But for the fair weather fan, the search of genuine scares continues.
Interesting.
And Alistair Ryder from Looper.com says, I wish I was watching campier psychodrama Cage believed he was making rather than the brooding, straight-faced mystery that never once tries to meet him at his level.
Interesting.
So they're not saying it's awful.
It just seems like that one of the reviews just wanted Nick Cage to be in a Goofy movie.
What I'm trying to find is the one that I absolutely love is Perry Nemiroff. Where did Perry go?
Perry Nemiroff, I must just say, fantastic critic. One of my favorites.
She is one of my favorites. There it is. There's my reactions. Okay. Okay, it was in another folder. That's okay. With 17 tabs open, of course, something is going to glitch. But Perry's was right here. Perry's was in this one. And she is probably the best critic that I think in this lineup, in all honesty. She gives everything to this. So, Mary Beth McAndrew says, get ready, y'all, because Longlegs is the real deal. Absolutely rancid, cursed vibes that had me scared to enter my dark hotel room. Micah Monroe is stunning, and Cage is disturbing. This is Osgood Perkins in top form. So, and then she says, a contemporary Silence of the Lambs, methinks. Okay.
I have been
going
seeing
a little bit far, I think.
I will say though, I've seen a lot of comparisons to Silence of the Lambs, a lot with the film, which is very interesting. I haven't seen Silence of the Lambs. It's on my watch list. I'm probably going to watch it before I see Longlegs, which that's going to be fairly exciting for me. But I will say, from what I've seen from Nicolas Cage, is absolutely horrifying. I don't know if you saw the marketing where they had you could dial a phone number, but I did that. Oh my God, it was horrifying. Cam, Toby, Mike, and myself, we were actually all on the call, and that's when I did it. Me and Mike did it, and we were scared shitless.
Me and Toby didn't hear a thing that was going on, so we're kind of in the dark still.
It was terrifying.
Well, speaking of this, Matt says, holy shit, Oz Perkins has crafted an outstandingly bleak and fiendish investigative thriller. It's so violently evil. A film that lingers in your thoughts, under your skin, and in the pit of your stomach, well after it's over. Perkins is best so far.
That's what you need from a horror movie, in my opinion. It needs to rattle you if it wants to be truly scary. Sounds like it's doing that.
Skipping a few of these to get down to Perry. Perry said it best. Already quite confident, calling Longlegs my favorite Oz Perkins film. Those teasers sell it well. We're just going to go straight to Twitter because I want to read this whole thing and let everybody see it. Those teasers sell it well. The mystery unsolved serial killer case is wildly fascinating and hugely unnerving. No spoilers, of course, but where things land, I've never seen anything quite like it. I tend to get over-obsessed with story details, so I was left with some questions. But as twisted as the scenario is, I kind of love that. I can't stop thinking about it. It's truly one of a kind and was giving me sinister vibes. A high compliment given it's a personal favorite. This is the poster, and I gotta say that sells me by itself.
The posters, I love every single poster for this movie. That's why I, like a Letterboxd patron like myself, it's so hard trying to pick a poster for that movie on Letterboxd because I love all of them. But yeah, Perry Nemiroff is a critic I trust so much. She's one of a few. The ones I trust the most are 3C Films,
yes,
Jeremy Johns, Sean Chandler, and then, of course, Perry Nemiroff. So to hear her give such a glowing review of this film, it's very exciting.
I gotta say something. The two critics I'm most excited to see review this is Austin Burke and Movies and Munchies, because those guys, Movies and Munchies, he's more of like a philosophical, well-in-depth, detailed reviewer, and Austin Burke is like a new age Roger Ebert.
For sure, I actually would agree with that. Austin Burke is great.
He's actually my favorite critic. When I see reviews pop up, I'm like, where's Austin's? Because he and I agree most often, unless it comes to like a rom-com. Because I'm the rom-com guy, which we're going to talk about a chick flick here in just a couple minutes that I'm not all that excited for, to be completely honest with you. I don't know why we're getting it. But Longlegs, I know you guys are going to see it. And I know,
yes.
Are you guys seeing that Thursday night, or are you seeing that Friday?
Thursday night.
Okay. So, everybody here, I'm going to clip this out. Everybody go to Gavin's channel and check out the review for Longlegs. Give him a like. Get him some subscribers. He's almost as high as me. Don't subscribe too much now. I still want to have the most subscribers, and this is all in good fun. But in all
Yeah.
honesty, give him a subscribe. He's a great critic. One of the best that I watch. I literally watch all your new videos because I mean, each review, you're getting to be a better critic with each video. Because
Wow.
in the chat, when you and I talk, when everybody talks, I feel like you and I are the most critic-like in the chat. Because I've been doing this for like 5-6 years, and there's not very many people that I see go into as much depth and are as picky as you and I are with what we give the high scores to.
Yes.
You and I have only given what, 1 5-star this year so far?
I've only given one. And I will say, there were only a couple this year that I think could hit that. Gladiator 2, after that trailer today, which was excellent, I must say. That one, I think Joker might, and honestly, I think Longlegs could. I think Longlegs could hit that 5-star. I greatly appreciate everything you said, and I'm surprised how a lot of people respond to my reviews because I've been doing it since not long. I think January, February last year is when I started film criticism. But yeah, I thank you so much for everything you said. That was so kind of you.
Well, I will just say this about Longlegs. If you and the other critics say it's good, that's one where I'm willing to give it a chance. Because with my type of horror, Immaculate was a bit of a stretch for me. Because I don't do the Christian-based horror. I don't do nun movies.
Yeah, I call them nunsploitation.
Yeah. Now, the biggest stretch I did was probably the Conjuring movies. Because those are ones I avoided for years. I don't do anything with an exorcism I know that's in it. So that's why I skipped The Exorcism.
Fair.
Even though I could have gotten a screener for it, I just didn't care to. But
yeah, I will say that even with all the glowing stuff I'm hearing about my channel right now, I will say in regards to everybody, I do give hot takes occasionally, I must admit. Like Exorcist Believer I enjoyed, and recently Strangers Chapter 1 I thoroughly enjoyed. So there are still movies that a lot of people hate that I still like. And that's totally okay. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to check out my channel, it's right there. And I will be posting Thursday night will be the review for Longlegs will be up.
You want to talk about a hot take, man? I was the only positive critic, the only positive review for Mother of the Bride. The only one. And the only one to give a positive review to A Family Affair. Apparently those are hot takes, but you know what? People respected that opinion, and Netflix loved it. So if I can unintentionally kiss a little bit of ass, I'm going to keep doing it. But we will look at the trailer for Gladiator. We look at the comments first. Oh, we got Snoopy up in here. What's up? But we will take a look at this topic up next, which we don't have a whole lot to say on it, but I'm excited. Let me get the comment off there first. I don't know why. There we go. We're going to look at Shrek 5. It gets a July 2026 release date. Shrek is one of my favorite films of all time. Hands down. One of the movies I've watched the most. Whenever I am at work, at least once a month, I'm at work and I get a text from the girlfriend and she goes, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" And I'm like, well, you see, that's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I've only seen the sequels to Shrek once each.
I haven't seen the sequels at all. So.
I haven't seen any of the sequels. I've only seen the first one.
Oh.
Which I've heard Shrek 2 is great. So
Shrek 2 is great. It rivals the first for a lot of people. Not for me. Not for me. Shrek is one where, for some reason, when we had nothing to do at church and there was no teacher, no lesson, they would just pop in the weirdest thing and it was Shrek. At church, okay. Somehow it's okay to watch that when they're calling each other a stubborn jackass and a smelly ogre. Okay, cool. But Shrek 5 gets a release date for July 2026 with Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz returning. That scared me. If you don't get Cameron Diaz back as Fiona, I'm done. I'm done. But
Yeah.
Shrek 5 is officially in development with a far, far away release date of July 1st of 2026. Why is this significant? Well, I found this. I thought it'd be very interesting to see what else comes out around that time. And oh my God, you want to talk about us eating good as movie fans? You got no clue. The summer of 2026. 2025 is good, but 2026 blows it all out of the water. Going back up here, slowly, just like my grandma going to the bathroom, very, very slowly. May 1st, The Kang Dynasty. We have a Steven Spielberg project. May 22nd, The Mandalorian and Grogu. But this is where we get big. June 5th, Masters of the Universe. June 19th, Toy Story 5. Supergirl on the 26th. But on July 1st, we have Shrek 5. Shortly after that, Moana live action. So if you want to talk about eating good, we're not eating very good until we get to July 31st with Paw Patrol 3. No. In all honesty, from there till then, we're eating really, really good.
Yeah. What is your guys' favorite that's so far slated? I mean, I don't think I need to say what my most anticipated is. It's Avengers, obviously. But they're filming next year, so that's exciting. But what are you guys most excited for that's on the slate?
That's on the slate?
Yeah. Like, because there's a lot that could be announced for summer 2026 still, but based on what we know so far.
The Batman 2 for October. If we're talking about summer, it's Avengers.
Yeah, but year-round, Batman Part 2, second place for me, but I gotta take Avengers because I'm even wearing Marvel right now, so like...
Right now, see, for me, I'm very excited for Avengers. I am a DC fan first and then Marvel. I've always liked the DC characters more.
Yeah, we've always divided on that. I've always been more Marvel. He's always leaned more for DC, so...
Yes. So for me... I'd say for summer is Supergirl. Women of Tomorrow is my most anticipated. I think Millie Alcott is going to crush it as Supergirl. And then, yeah, also, I'd say also Batman Part 2. But what I will say, I am more excited for Supergirl right now than I am for Batman Part 2. And I love and I love Part 1. But I just love this new kind of universe we're getting. I would prefer if it was just like one-offs and spin-offs and individual projects instead of a full cinematic universe. Yeah. But I mean, with how they're doing, I think when we inevitably get a Justice League movie, it'll probably end up being great. I will say, I think it would be better for them instead of doing a Batman Brave and the Bold movie to just honestly, just if they were going to do anything, just integrate the Batman into the DC universe. Because having that stark contrast of the Superman we're getting, and then the darker Matt Reeves the Batman, I think could be fun. Because that's like Batman and Superman, that's the point. Like, it could be really cool.
We do have Comic-Con coming out, so I think we're going to find out who the Batman is, who our new Batman is, who the new Wonder Woman is. I think we're going to get a lot of stuff. They're going to show a little bit of footage from Superman, which is fine. It's actually being shot an hour and a half away from me, north of me, so that's very exciting.
Oh, nice.
But if we're talking about stuff that's in development, as a whole, for me, it's Wonka 2. It's Wonka 2.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet's my boy. He's the greatest actor working on the face of the planet that is consistently doing stuff. If we're talking about my favorite dude, it is Leonardo DiCaprio. He's my favorite actor of all time. That'll never change. Timothée Chalamet is getting close, but anything he does is going to be great.
I mean, we all saw him in Dune Part 2, so...
Yeah, but I'm back to Comic-Con. I'm so confused, at least what Marvel is showing, because there have been rumors. We just got the Agatha trailer. Apparently, Captain America trailer this week as well. Thunderbolt trailer soon. What are they saving for Comic-Con? I'm hoping a Fantastic Four suit reveal about what they'll look like.
Get that.
I'm hoping because they film right after Comic-Con is over, so...
Well, and
I
they have
have
like
a
little
feeling.
banners up too
Yeah,
outside.
so we know we are seeing some Fantastic Four, which I'm so excited for. That's my most anticipated movie of next year.
I think I have a feeling of what they're going to announce.
Mm.
They're going to announce who the new Kang is.
I
Because
think
they're
I think
so.
so.
Yeah. And I feel
Kang is
like we're going to get updated release dates for the Avengers films as well.
I
And
will
maybe
say,
an updated title on Avengers 5. Because if I was in the Kevin Feige position, I would have done an Avengers movie like a couple years ago to establish the new team. Then for like the big Infinity War Endgame event, I would have just done Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2.
I will say, I don't think for Comic-Con or really D23, they should just do what they did like a couple years ago in 2019 and just announce a bunch of crap. Because what happened? Avengers is going through issues. Blade hasn't even done anything really so far, apart from fire people
Yep.
and delay stuff. So they're clearly trying to still work out what happened when they announced stuff in 2019. So I think we get an Avengers title announcement. I think we get first look at Fantastic Four. I think we're just going to get a lot of first looks at movies we already know are coming out. I don't think we're going to get a lot of crazy new stuff.
Yeah,
No.
I feel like we could get some more. I think they'll drop exclusive Comic-Con footage for Captain America.
Yes.
Besides what's released to the public. I think maybe they'll have like the main Fantastic Four actors come on and talk about it. Maybe in the suits would be cool. But I've heard that Comic-Con for Marvel is going to focus on the movies, and they're going to save a lot of the show updates for D23.
That would make sense.
Which is great. Because with D23, their biggest thing right now is Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy what you brought up about 2019. The reason why they did that is because we had the awful CEO, Bob Chapek, want to push as much Marvel out and as much Star Wars out without even considering the quality.
Which is why I'm so happy we're slowing down and breathing. Because we're getting one MCU movie this year, and that's such a good decision because the box office is planning to do well and people are excited. My only concern is that Blade's definitely not coming out next year, but it's on the slate, is that we're getting 3 MCU movies next year.
And here's the thing. What's bad for Marvel is if, I don't think it will, but if Deadpool and Wolverine sucks, that's going to be terrible for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we will take a look at some of the quick reactions of what we've heard at the end of the show. But moving on to the next topic. Oh, wait. We actually have some more comments. Shrek is epic. Yes, it is. Shrek is epic.
Definitely.
Somebody once told me it was going to roll me. And I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Wise words.
Let's go. Let's go. I don't know what you're saying. Let's go about, but let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here's why. I love Shrek.
Yeah.
Shrek, yes.
Who doesn't? Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Snoopy loves it too. I mean, if we're going to talk about Shrek, I mean, I can do a Shrek watch along like that. I like the 5th one. Yes, you do. You haven't seen it yet, but I like your positivity.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do what Camden does for every Marvel movie and gaslight yourself into liking it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I already have 5 stars ready for it on Letterboxd. Come on now.
The second one is amazing. Shrek 2 is very, very good.
I've heard.
And then Snoopy's favorite movie is Peanut. Okay.
The Peanuts movie?
Yeah. I'm gonna guess it's Peanuts movie. That's not a bad pick. I love the Peanuts movie. I
went to go and see it. Animation's great.
I went to see that once in theaters opening weekend, and then I went to go and see it again when my theater used to do the free summer movies at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. That was a lot better than I thought it would be the second time. But moving on to the next topic, Devil Wears Prada 2 is in development. Gentlemen, have you seen The Devil Wears Prada?
I have not,
so I can't really comment on this.
Yeah, but I will say for people who are excited about really like Devil Wears Prada and what I know from Devil Wears Prada, no clue what they're gonna do.
Okay.
I've heard a brief plot.
as someone who's seen it, and with someone who has a lot of female friends, who when I sent this to one of them, she was ecstatic. She was ecstatic, and I will say this: I like the movie. I think it's good. I don't think it's one of the all-time greatest films, but Devil Wears Prada 2 is reportedly in development, and this comes from Men's Journal, the perfect place to be talking about the Devil Wears Prada.
Absolutely.
Puck reports that Meryl Streep will reprise her role of iconic role of Miranda Priestley in the sequel to The Devil Wears Prada, and the project is already in development at Disney. Not only is Streep coming back, but Emily Blunt is coming back, and it's already been confirmed that alongside original screenwriter Aline McKenna, who is in talks to write the screenplay. What scares me is where is Anne Hathaway? She was the main reason. Where is she? She's the main reason the movie worked. Not only because of Streep and Emily Blunt, but have you guys seen that Oscars clip where they are on stage about to present this award, and it's the same year that movie came out? Streep was in the front row. And they're like, she doesn't have a latte. Get her a latte. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. I'm sorry. That's the greatest thing I've seen at the Oscars, besides the John Cena streaking moment with the costume design. That was phenomenal. But what makes this even more interesting is the plot for me. If you want to see Meryl Streep act, wait until you hear this. Where is it? Okay. Puck does suggest that we will see Streep battling the decline of traditional publishing at the end of her career, and will now face off against Blunt as her character, who serves as an exec at a luxury group. So it's the decline of her company. She's going broke. She's about to retire. She doesn't know what she's going to do. That's intriguing to me as a fan of the first one, but not a massive fan. Looking at what it did at the box office, it did pretty decent numbers for what it is. In all honesty, I'm not sure what the budget is, but The Devil Wears Prada is one of the most treasured movies for many, many people, for a good reason. It's one that people watch at sleepovers. Women watch this at sleepovers. All the drunk moms like to get together and have a glass of wine and watch either this, book club, or Palms, I'm sure. With this movie, look at what this film did. If you told me a Devil Wears Prada movie was going to earn a total of $326 million, I would have laughed in your face. And back in the day, 2006, DVD sales were still a thing. Almost $100 million in DVD sales.
Wow.
When's the last time a movie has made $100 million in home media sales? That's why it's getting a sequel. Everybody has a DVD of it that I know. Even if you don't like that type of film, I guarantee you, if you get a girlfriend, she's going to have the DVD. She will say, hey, let's watch this. And you're going to be like, okay. It's a good film. Not one of the all-time greats, but I'm excited for it. But this is interesting to me. This next topic, before we go into that, what streaming services do you guys regularly use?
I use frequently, and keep in mind, I have the bundle of Disney Plus and Hulu. I use Hulu, HBO Max, and probably Netflix are like those top three that I use predominantly.
Yeah, I use only Disney Plus. Like, we have the other streaming services, but when I am not in a theater watching something else, when I'm at home, I'm just rewatching Marvel stuff. So I exclusively use Disney Plus. They added X-Men Days of Future Past, which we talked about off screen a bit for the X-Men. They just finally added that to Disney Plus, which was on HBO Max. And since it came out, I've watched it like 4 times again. Like, so I think streaming is great. But not as good as physical media, but I think streaming is still great. But
and our mom, we have Peacock. I don't use it very often. My Cam doesn't use it very often. She uses it all the time for like Real Housewives and shows like that. She eats those shows up.
Well, as someone who has all the streaming services, I mean, legitimately all the streaming services, I get this struggle. There was a report that came out today. 42% of people are now churning their streaming services. So if you don't know what churning means, churning is basically where you get this streaming service for one show. So say for like us with a Disney Plus, if I didn't have the yearly bundle on Disney Plus and I only did it for one thing, it would be for, say, the fourth season of The Mandalorian. What they do is they get the streaming service for that, they watch the entire season, and then they delete it. Once another thing comes back on that streaming service, they do that. So what that's doing is, one, that's not really hurting the streaming services all that much, because what a lot of people don't know is, what do streaming services look for when they are thinking about renewing a show? How many people come back and subscribe for that show?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hoping that show. Wednesday is going to see that. So if you don't have Netflix, you're going to get Netflix just for that. So take a look at this report. 42% of U.S. streaming users regularly cancel and resubscribe, but bundles reduce churn, the study shows. Getting rid of the politics. There we go. So 42% of them. However, it shows here that the Disney subscribers who had previously churned then returned to take the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus are 59% less likely to churn within 9 months or 12 months who take Disney Plus alone. So, before we take a look at that, that's very interesting. If you had the opportunity, if you paid for all the streaming services and you had to choose, would you just churn? So say you wanted to see the new episode, the new season of, say, X-Men or WandaVision or Agatha. Would you churn Disney Plus? Would you churn a Netflix or a Hulu for a show you like?
See, for me, I can't really speak for the general public here, but for me, I review movies and TV. So there's not really a world where I see I'm gonna go and I'll churn Paramount or something. That is Paramount's probably like the only one I would do that for, because those ones are like, I could go without, but there are some stuff on there I want to watch, or there's the new release coming out. Like if there was, I don't know, like if they did do another Pet Sematary, I'd probably go and review that because it's a horror franchise, and I've seen some of them in the franchise. I've seen the remake, and I've seen Bloodline. So I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll probably I'll subscribe for right now, watch it, and go about my merry way. And then probably Shudder is another one like that. Like right now I have it, and I use it frequently as well. But like really only the reason I keep it is for some of their originals that are great. They have great originals on there, and then like VHS, those films. I for like this year's one, I forgot what they're doing. I think it's 84 is this year's VHS 84. I'd probably churn, but for me, especially for like the big names like the Netflixes, the Disney Pluses, the HBO Max, those ones I keep because I review. So
yeah, like I would say the same thing, because like thankfully everything I watch is on Disney Plus / Hulu, because like Hulu had their exclusive Marvel shows. They did MODOK and Hitmonkey, and Hitmonkey season 2 comes out I think next week. And so I probably would try to like churn Hulu to watch the new season of Hitmonkey to review it. Thankfully, I don't have to do that because of the Disney Plus Hulu. I should still probably finish season 1 of the show. But so I would consider churning if it was for something I was like really interested in. Because like if me and Gap didn't have Netflix, we would probably churn it when Stranger Things 5 came out.
Yeah.
because we've watched the first 4 seasons. So I think there is a thing with churning that can be, but if you're fortunate enough to have all the primary streaming services, I think there's just no reason to, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I love about churning is when it helps shows get second seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, as an avid viewer of that 70s show, growing up in my teenage years and everything else, that 90s show was something I was very excited about on Netflix. So I'm very happy that we get a second and third season. Churning might have helped that, because with the first season, that came out in January. That thing freaking flew. It flew 8 episodes, 4-hour binge, easy. What makes it hard is, are you going to churn when it's a weekly release? So if you didn't have Amazon Prime and you had to choose, what would you do? Would you wait until the entire season's dropped? Or would you have Amazon Prime monthly? If you're only having it for the Prime Video, would you do it monthly and just unsubscribe from it after The Boys season 4 ends?
If I'm a churner, I don't know if that's the right verbiage for that, but that's what I'm going to use for it. If I am, I'd probably just wait for the full season to release.
Yeah, I would too. I would wait for it to be all out and then just binge that. And just do that.
If I churned, I would probably, I can get rid of the Paramount Plus, but I have it on my Amazon Prime, which is great, because if you use the Paramount Plus on Amazon Prime, you get live TV channels with it.
Yeah.
So you get constant movies. You have a horror channel. You have a kids channel. You have a classics channel, 80s channel. Massive amount of catalog there, but everything else is on there. If I had to churn, I can't churn Netflix. I can't churn Disney Plus or Hulu or HBO Max. With House of the Dragon on, I can probably churn after House of the Dragon's off. I'm not even going to kid you. But House of the Dragon is the one thing that's keeping me going. I need my HBO Max right now. And of course, Friends. But if I had to churn, I could churn everything else. But the main streaming services, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I couldn't churn.
I agree with that.
I couldn't churn Disney Plus, for example, because I would just need it again in October when Agatha comes out, or September when Agatha comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing with Marvel, is that they're always pumping out content. Like January, they gave us Echo. March to May, they gave us X-Men 97. Then September through maybe early November, late October, we'll be getting Agatha. So there's they give us a good, except for Echo because that dropped all at once. They give us a good 3 months of shows. Then a couple months off. Then we're right back to it. And then in between that, we have the movies. And if I want to rewatch the movie because they drop it digitally first, I use the Disney Plus. So that Disney Plus is a service I couldn't churn. But HBO, we have Penguin coming out, which I'm gonna watch. And then we have Creature Commandos also in December. So there's just constant stuff that I want to watch. That especially Max, I could probably churn a bit, but Disney Plus is one I don't think I could ever churn.
Yeah, I agree. I'm someone that at least needs the big ones. The Paramount is a little iffy, but the Netflixes, the Maxes, the Disney Pluses, Hulus, those ones are especially ones that I'm I'll keep, and I will use those very frequently, and especially for reviewing them. Those will be the ones that do get the most stuff and do get the stuff that most people will be like, oh, I wonder if there are reviews out there, and they'll probably get some good click-through rate through that. So yeah, I would. Those would be the ones that I'm I'll at least keep those.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next topic, we do have another one here. This is Sav. Sav is from the UK.
I remember him.
Sav, you're up late, man. I think it's 2:00 in the morning there, man. But I thank you for coming on. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for staying up late to watch us. And I knew Sav was a good guy. I also grew up watching that 70s show. Come on. It's my probably third favorite show of all time right now. It's fantastic. I grew up watching it. This is interesting. In the UK, we pay a TV license if you want to watch live TV and don't need a license if we just stream.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. So moving on to the next topic. We're going to watch a couple trailers. I purposefully have not watched the trailer for Gladiator 2. Only because I wanted a live reaction to it from me.
Yes.
So, I know we haven't seen the first movie yet. We haven't seen the first Gladiator.
Have any of us three yet? I know Camden. I haven't seen either. I did buy a steelbook for the movie today, so I can watch the film. I've seen this trailer like 50 times today, and I can't stop watching it. I love it so much.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to watch it live, and we're just going to see what we think. Now, I'm probably going to watch... I might watch Gladiator maybe this week because I'm so excited, but I don't want to get overhyped for it. Now, I have it in a really cool set that I'll show off stream, but I'm going to have to show you guys that because I think it's a mandatory set for any movie fan to own. But this is the trailer for Gladiator 2.
I hate these trailers before the trailers thing.
That day.
Yeah.
I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Did you hear that crowd? The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because
Denzel looks great here.
Power.
Oh, the cinematography.
Sharks in the freaking water. I love that.
I'm honestly seated for Pedro. Like, I'm such a big fan of his. So,
Rome has so
Awesome.
many subjects. She must feed them.
also, Joseph Quinn getting that bag.
yeah.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. That rage is your gift.
This is about survival! Survive! Hold together and when it charges, break for the wall.
Whose hate
So
could I
crazy.
give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
Oh,
Rome must fall.
chills.
I need to only give
Chills. Denzel Washington seems like he's having a lot of fun.
Come on, Pedro.
This ring belonged
Oh,
to
man.
Maximus. Now I give it to you. What is the dream of Rome? For people are not free.
I was owned. Now I will control an empire.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength among us! This how Rome treats its heroes!
Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
The gods of
Oh my god.
Oh man. A little
Okay.
decapitation at the end too.
Okay, so let's break this down for just a minute, okay? It's not very often a trailer makes me bawl, but that's fucking beautiful. That is one of the best trailers I've seen in months. I think I've decided that I'm gonna automatically watch Gladiator tomorrow. I'm watching the first Gladiator tomorrow, hands down.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure. I will say a lot of people are hating on the song choice for the trailer. I personally love it.
I liked it, but what I'm hoping is that's just the trailer. I'm hoping they don't play it during the movie.
Yeah, I don't think they will. For the period piece that the Gladiator films are, there's no way they play a rap song in the actual movie.
What I'm thinking is they'll use it. They'll use it at the end. Look at something like, say, Top Gun Maverick with the Gaga song. That was at the very, very end. That's what they'll do here. I don't think they should have used that song, but I don't think it's a bad choice.
Yeah, a lot of people were clowning on it. I love it. Especially with like the Coliseum line in there, I see exactly why they picked it. I think if that song is in the movie in any way, it might be like the song to transition into the credits or the end credit song. I feel like it'll be one of those. I mean, I've seen this trailer so many times today, and every single time, still goosebumps.
As soon as I saw Pedro, I'm like, "There's my boy."
Yeah,
same. My boy. The Mandalorian and Game of Thrones. If you haven't seen him in Game of Thrones, I've seen him do swordplay before, and holy crap, this dude, he's even more built now, but he was acting his ass off in Game of Thrones.
He's already my Reed Richards, so I'm just excited.
And I will
that.
say this. There was a moment in there, because I've rewatched this trailer multiple times now. I love that when you see the water fill up in the Coliseum, it's not just that. There are sharks actively in the Coliseum water. So when they get knocked in, they do get eaten. And that's a real event in history that they're taking from. And I think that might probably be, because it seems like there's going to be quite a bit of action set pieces in here. That could be my favorite one. But they all look great.
What really scares me is it's Ridley Scott.
Yes.
It's Ridley Scott. So, taking a look at what he's done recently, I'll say this. I didn't hate it. I mean, I didn't hate it. But I enjoyed House of Gucci. Bringing up his IMDb. Ridley Scott taking out what he's done, all of the all-time classics, yes. But what he's done recently, he's had the Oscar bait before. But now, with his IMDb, a quick look. Well, that's a producer. Okay, so when he's directing, he has 6 projects coming out. I have not seen. That's all producer. That's great. Thank you for moving. I love that. He's done over 140 things. Okay, so Napoleon. I didn't see Napoleon.
Me either.
Yeah, same.
House of Gucci, I like that movie. But what gets me excited is the battle scenes. If you guys haven't seen The Last Duel, holy crap, that's a fantastic period piece.
I need to watch it. I will say, because a lot of my friends that I knew who aren't, like, they don't go to the movies very often. One of them didn't go for like 5 years. They loved the trailer for Napoleon. They went and saw Napoleon, and they were very disappointed. So I hope it's not the case where the trailer's great and the movie sucks.
We've seen a lot of good trailers to sucky movies.
We have. We've also seen a lot of bad trailers to good movies. Look at Smile again.
That trailer was awful, but the marketing is what saved it. So if they market this well, awesome. But this has a couple things going against it. This opens the same day as Wicked. 5 days later, Moana. 2 completely different crowds from Wicked to Gladiator, but you're looking at 2 Oscar baity films here. You're going to get Oscar bait films next to each other. Moana and Wicked are going to go after each other's throats, but Wicked and Gladiator could have a Barbenheimer effect, maybe.
Gladiator.
Yeah. Oh, Stav says Gladiator 2 looks good. Yes, it does. That looks freaking phenomenal.
I agree. I think that I was like, I don't know if I'm even going to see the movie, if I'm going to really enjoy the film. But then I saw that trailer and I was like, oh my God, that could be a 5-star movie or something like that after that trailer.
That's one that I think you're gonna enjoy because I'm gonna have to see that in theaters. That's a theater movie. Gladiator 2 is a theater movie. I can't see myself watching it for the first time at home. There's no way. You're not gonna get the same scope. The rhino scene reminds me of Star Wars. I completely get that, especially in Attack of the Clones with their fight in the Coliseum. Yeah, this is awesome. You're all awesome, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I will say, what's kind of concerning about Gladiator 2 is that apparently the budget skyrocketed, and it's over around $250 to $310 million for an R-rated period piece. It's not looking great. It's probably not going to make much money, but I do hope it has a Barbie Oppenheimer favor, because apparently also Wicked is just a part 1. It's like the first act of the musical. So now here's the thing: I'm so confused because they announced that it was like, hey, surprise, we're doing 2 Wicked movies. But then in all of the marketing, it's just said Wicked. So I don't know if it's a case where the trailer is both movies and then it's like do a Dune situation where it's all marketed as Dune, but when you sit down, the title card says Dune Part 1 or Wicked Part 1. And then they're like, hey, yeah, you're getting Dune Wicked Part 2. So I have no idea what they're going to do. I hope it has a similar reaction and it can make a lot of money because it looks good.
This next comment is from Sav. I think the rap song is also just for the trailer and the end credits. We completely agree.
Yeah.
Oh, you just broke my heart, Sav. Sav says, I can't remember the last time I went to the movies. Well, you see, work comes into play too, so maybe he doesn't have time, but I'm hoping you get to the movies at some point. I'm hoping you go for Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool is the main one. If your theater is playing Inside Out 2, that's a good movie. Deadpool, Twisters. Next week I'm going to see Horizon, which I'm super excited for. Tomorrow I'm going to go and see A Quiet Place Part 1, and then Thursday Despicable Me.
Day 1. A Quiet Place Day 1.
I can't wait to see that, man. I
know. I liked it a lot. I thought it was awesome.
I think you're gonna really enjoy it. It's great.
It's my favorite one of the 3. I didn't really enjoy Part 1 and Part 2. I like Day 1. I like Day 1 a lot. I give 4 stars. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're gonna see any movie this summer, I think Deadpool's probably gonna be the biggest one. So
yeah. And then if you're gonna go in November, might have to go see Gladiator 2. So
yeah.
Or do a double feature of Gladiator,
But our next topic is going to be one I'm excited for, but I'm cautious. This is going to be a bit of a discussion. We do have a comment from Sav. Deadpool. Yep.
Yes.
Deadpool and the Wolverine. But we're going to talk about and watch the trailer for Agatha All Along.
Okay.
Taking a look at this, I've only seen the trailer once, but I've seen marketing out the ass for this thing. I've seen this continuously. So let's take a quick look at the trailer and we'll discuss this.
I'm so ready to talk about this film or the show.
Pretty long for a teaser trailer as well. Almost 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, Detective. Jane Doe. Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
This makes me wonder the rating of the show with this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's super mature, hands down.
I think so.
I think it's going to end up being TV-14, like WandaVision was, but I think it's going to be more of an extreme TV-14.
We've seen them do TV MA with nothing. Looking at you, Echo, so I guess we'll see.
That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell.
I love this idea.
Claw your way
I love seeing Aubrey Plaza as well. Aubrey Plaza.
I love this. I think this is awesome right here.
That's pretty cool.
I miss the glory days. She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again.
This reminds me of Insidious.
Gang's all
Yeah,
here. Let's
love
hit the
that.
road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road.
I love this so much. Witch's Road, I'm so happy we're getting this.
See, doesn't this just kind of seem like it'd be just a one-off Halloween special instead of a full TV show?
Someone. Like,
Yeah.
like,
But I am glad because they're showing a lot of interesting stuff that the MCU hasn't touched. So I'm glad we're getting a lot of time to explore it.
Can't wait for them to never address what they add here.
Coven. Not looking for right-minded witches as it happens.
I love Catherine Hahn so much.
That shot in the moon was pretty cool with the coven behind there.
Sweetheart, you okay? Oh my God!
oh,
Oh, what's she doing? Where's she going?
so, taking a look at that, let's talk about the potential one-shot Halloween special. That's what I felt about Werewolf by Night. I thought that was a one-shot Halloween special. I didn't enjoy it, and I thought that was a very cheap horror.
Okay,
Right.
I liked it a lot personally.
Yeah, I thought it was just okay. I thought it was fine.
I'm scared for this one, though, because if they go the same route and extend it, but do we know the writers for it? If it's the same writers as WandaVision, I'm sold.
Yeah, I think they have some of the writers and a couple of the directors back for Agatha all along. But you guys know the shot? It was kind of with like the green lighting, and they had like the castle off in the distance.
Uh-huh.
That was cool.
I was looking at that a bit. I think we might see part of Latveria and get hints of Doom. Kind of a stretch, bit of a stretch, but I think the show's going kind of ballsy with it. And I think not only having some of the supernatural arts in the MCU, but also having some more mystical stuff as well would be really cool. And I think the cast looks great. I love the characters they're picking. I think the show looks great. I wasn't down for an Agatha show when it was announced, but as we got closer to like a trailer and more news about it, I was getting a bit more excited. Then the trailer fully sold me. I'm so excited for the show.
So the showrunner for Agatha all along wrote 2 episodes of WandaVision, and she was an executive producer on the whole series.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So that gives me hope.
Yeah,
I
Sam.
can't find writers anywhere.
They'll probably be announced in August. I think they'll be announced in August. Now, what's going to be interesting is that we've heard... I saw a couple rumors. This might take place in the multiverse as well.
Yeah.
So, what people are thinking is that kid with the black hair is Billy.
Yeah.
They're thinking it's Billy. What do you do with that character? What do you do with Deborah Jo Rupp? She was in a couple scenes. Why is she there? Why is she in the Coven? Does she have powers now? I think all that's going to be pretty much solved within the first 2 episodes, the whole story. But once we get into episode 3, that's when we deep dive into the backstory.
I will answer. We do know that the kid is Billy. That was confirmed, and I believe it was either a Deadline or Variety article talking about the series. So we do know he's Billy. We're getting Wiccan. So I'm really excited about that personally.
This is a show that can go one of 2 ways. It can either go the same route as WandaVision, or it can go the route of an Echo. Echo had a promising start. I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Then we get to the rest of the series, where I don't know how you guys felt about it. I thought it lacked any sort of creative vision, any sort of in-depth characters, and a lacking amount of action to care about. This series scares me, but I love Catherine Hahn. I trust her. I haven't seen anything that she's been in that I've hated. Even her small little indie film called Afternoon Delight was a delight. Ha. That was unintentional. But overall, we're very excited for it. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
but
I'm a little on it. I think it looks okay. As I said, I am one that I was like, they could do something for like, even if it was like a 90-minute, at like maybe even an 80-minute little Halloween special about her traveling and getting her powers back would be just fun. But they're stretching it, it seems, to 8 episodes. I hope it's good. I think if they lean into the horror elements, it's going to be great.
mm-hmm.
I think if they do it, because we saw stuff in there that looked like it was a like an insidious demon or something in there, which was pretty cool. So I think this show, I'm not sold yet, but I think it has a lot of potential.
It kind of looks like Hocus Pocus on crack.
So
yeah,
sort of, yeah.
Now I will say,
I haven't seen WandaVision. Okay, watch WandaVision first.
Yes, definitely. It is good. It's really good.
It's good. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, I hope the finale isn't dog shit. Like let's look at like Echo was probably my least favorite Marvel show finale ever because there's nothing of note of importance that moves the story forward. It was a show that doesn't matter, and the only reason people will watch the show is to see what Vincent D'Onofrio does, which is nothing, and then there's a little connecting piece in there that will tie into Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. And
I liked it. I thought Echo was good. The finale fell off hard.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's the issue with a lot of the Marvel shows. They seem to fall off hard. But then again, that's with any Disney Plus show. Look what happened with the second part of The Mandalorian Season 3. That fell off hard about halfway through. We are over the Grogu cuteness. We're over everything being cute. Give us a good story, and they didn't do that. Instead, they're like, hey, look, this thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is that thing? We don't know. Just look at it. It's integral to the plot. It's integral to the plot for one episode and one battle. We never hear of it again in the last couple episodes. But moving on to the last couple of topics. This is the big one. Deadpool and Wolverine reactions.
Yes.
A secret screening was given. Now, there are spoilers out. I have not seen them. I'm staying away from them.
Me too.
Same.
I made a post about what I'm doing so of course I'm doing an X-Men re-review or reviewing all the films on my channel. My last review in that series drops the Monday before Deadpool and Wolverine. After I promote that video, I'm not going on any social medias the rest of the week until right before I see the movie, so I can post now watching Deadpool and Wolverine, because there are spoilers out there and I'm not getting spoiled. And I'm super excited that people got to see the first 40 minutes of the film. Super excited for them. But why leak it? Like, come on now.
Also, I will say another thing that a point of interest that's really fascinating is that they're only showing the first 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
The last time they did that was Spiderman No Way Home.
I've heard a lot of people have said the first 40 minutes is only what the trailers have been, except there's a little bit more that hasn't been in the trailers, which is so exciting.
I have a theory.
Yes.
About what's in the first 40 minutes. So they go into the different worlds within the first 40 minutes. And within the first 40 minutes, the first cameo we get is Elektra, because everybody knows Elektra's in there.
Yeah.
All know she's in there. That's the only thing they showed. I think that's it.
I think it's going to be like the first 20. I think it's going to be like 10 to 15 minutes are in Deadpool's world. We get like the driving point, kidnapped to the TVA, gets told what he has to do. I think maybe we'll get a montage of him trying to find different versions of Wolverine that will work with him till we get to the main one for the film. Then they'll meet Elektra. Then it's uncharted territory.
Yep.
Which is going to be so hyped.
After that, I think it's completely just gone.
I love how in the dark they're keeping us.
I love it. But what they're not keeping in the dark is the final runtime and the social media and review embargo details. So the final runtime has been revealed, and the movie will actually be a tad shorter as previous reports suggested. With the Merc with the mouth, MCU's debut will clock in at 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 45 seconds with credits, possibly including the rumored post-credit scene. So it's only an hour and 59 minutes without making it just shorter than Deadpool 2. The amount of cameos we're expecting, yes. So it's shorter than that, but a few spoilers have been leaked at recent fan events. Nothing majorly has been revealed, but any spoiler is a spoiler. It has now been confirmed that the social media reactions will drop on July 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, while full review embargoes lift on July 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for you guys in Oregon and LA and on that West Coast, 3 p.m. Everybody is going to be flocking to Rotten Tomatoes. All the reviews are going to be uploaded right at 6 p.m. Because if you're early, you want those clicks. You want it now.
What do you guys think the score is going to be? The debut score? I'm projecting somewhere like the 80s is my thing.
I think it's going to be lowest. I think the lowest score possible is going to be like low 70s. Or high 70s, I mean. I think the lowest scores are going to be high 70s. I don't think this is going to be rotten.
No. What scares me is if we are thinking about it too much. Because with Multiverse of Madness, how many people got in their head that we have 75 cameos coming in this 2.5-hour movie?
Right, and that was the biggest problem, is that they showed the Illuminati in the trailer, and everybody was like, if they're showing this in the trailer, how many other crazy cameos are in the movie? And that was pretty much it.
Now with this, we know we got multiple cameos because it has been announced there's multiple cameos.
Yeah. We know we're getting Sabretooth from promo material. We're getting different versions of Deadpool, which is going to be fun. We know we're getting like Toad from the original X-Men films, Deathstrike, Juggernaut, all of them.
The fire guy.
I think we're going to, Pyro. I think we're going to get, most, if not all of the cameos will be from previous X-Men films. So that's what I'm going and expecting. I'm like, we're going to get cameos. Like Elektra, we're going to get Elektra, obviously, which is going to be fun. But I think most are going to be from the X-Men films, which I am perfectly okay with if this is like a swan song. Although, the only thing that's making me think that we won't just be getting X-Men things is them jumping through the Doctor Strange portal.
Yeah.
What is exciting for me is I think everybody knows who we want as the cameo version of the Wolverine. We know it's going to be potentially Daniel Radcliffe. If you've seen him now, that dude is ripped. Harry Potter got buff.
Yeah.
I
think he'll be playing the patched version of Wolverine, and like the suit and the casino. And I think that's the perfect spot to put him in.
Now, if we get too hyped over cameos, that's our fault. What we're going to do, I'm pretty sure what all three of us are going to do, is we're going to go into it with an open mind. Because with Multiverse of Madness, we hyped ourselves up for good reason. We saw the Illuminati. We got excited. We learned our lesson. We didn't go into Spider-Man No Way Home with the same expectations as the Multiverse of Madness. We knew who we were getting. It was just seeing them to believe it.
Yeah. We were we're giving Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, but the fact that we actually got them made up for made up for knowing that they were in the movie.
Now with this, the only way I'm gonna be pissed is if we don't get very many cameos that actually matter.
I agree. I think this is just cameo fest. It's gonna annoy me a lot.
Yeah. Then that's going to be a lazy script and just fanboys being fanboys. But I trust Sean Levy. I trust him. I trust Ryan, and I trust Hugh. Hugh wasn't going to sign on to this without a decent script, without a decent idea.
Especially after Logan.
Especially after Logan. Since this is a different Logan than that Logan, and it's not going to harm anything, I think we could get a cameo from X-23.
I do too. You know that moment in the trailer when Wolverine says, "Trust me, kid, I'm no hero"? I think he's talking to Laura.
100%.
I think he's having a heart-to-heart with her. And, like, I'm going to be honest, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. My expectations are just about sky high because I couldn't be more excited about this film. But when it comes to the cameos, I have a slight theory that they're recruiting some people to help them take out Cassandra Nova. I think they're recruiting Elektra. And besides that, I have no idea who else they're recruiting because the van shot where they were like lunging out of the van before we got a little stuff from fighting in the trailers. I think because like all of the doors to the van were open behind them, I think they used editing to hide the people that might be with them. So I think Elektra will end up working with them. Maybe we'll get a couple other cameos, and I think that's going to be really fun because in one of the trailers, in the background, there was just a random Wastelander guy. Then when we got the reveal of Sabretooth, it was actually Sabretooth there. They just replaced him with someone else. So I think there's a lot hiding in plain sight, and that just makes me super excited.
I think the only way this movie is really, really bad is if it is just, oh, Deadpool and Wolverine see this character, and this character, and that's like most of the movie. That's the only time I think it's going to be like, that'll make the movie bad. I think that's it. But like, Hugh has said it's his favorite Wolverine he's done. Everybody seems confident in it. Their initial reactions were good.
Yeah, I think Ryan even said,
hit.
Yeah, Ryan even said Deadpool and Wolverine is his favorite movie that he's done in his career. So,
which is saying something because he's had a massive career. But
and if it's just a cameo fest, I think they would obviously say, "Hey, we love this movie." I don't think they would go that far with it.
Now, to put this into a perspective, from a fan point of view, we're looking forward to it. But if you're looking at from a critic point of view, let's think of this. Okay, ready? What's the biggest thing in marketing? Actor says, "I love this movie. My movie is good." So we can take their word for it, but they're not going to say this movie's dog shit.
Right.
Now, we're going to go into it expecting it to be good. Hands down, there's no way this is completely awful. There's no way it's awful. Before we move on to the last three topics, we have some more comments. Sav says, "I'm a big fan of the X-Men and the Deadpool. I have all the X-Men and Deadpool movies and most of the X-Men cartoons."
Awesome. Yeah, I got all the movies myself, working through some of the cartoons still, but I love the franchise.
And I will say, as a film critic for Deadpool and Wolverine, it will be hard to detach like a lot of that like fandom side to the fan side or to the critic side. And I did do that with Five Nights at Freddy's. Was another one where I was like, hey, we're finally seeing this on the big screen. I've grown up with this franchise. But also, I have to kind of think about how I can't just be I'm not going to just be a fan of the movie and give my thoughts on that. I have to look at it. And unfortunately, the movie was a fucking mess, but it was a it was a pretty fun mess for me. Knowing a lot, my thing was, if you're a fan of the games, you're going to know what's going on. If you're not, you're going to be confused. I will say also, we just got an announcement that X-Men 97 Season 3 is going to be worked on soon. And Matthew Chauncey, the writer of What If, will be writing Season 3. Okay. But Bo DeMaio's work for Season 2 has been revised and completed. So they're going to start work. They're going to fully finish Season 2. Season 3 is going to be written by the guy who did What If.
Okay, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, as Gavin was saying, I'm the complete opposite spectrum. I've said this before. I will say it again. Yes, I review movies on my channel. Hell no, I'm not a film critic. I am not a film critic. And that is why I'm so excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. I respect the hell out of you guys because you are critics. You are great critics. And I am lucky enough to go into Deadpool and Wolverine as just a fanboy, and my audience expects that. They're like, this guy's just a massive fanboy. So, like, this is my review. is going to be like people will go to like, just for example, Gavin's review. How does Deadpool and Wolverine work as a movie? For me, it's going to be like, how many times did my smile just like fully form bigger than it's ever been before? So that's why I'm super excited, because I'm just a massive fanboy of Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. So just to see them working together is just so exciting. So I'm just excited as a fanboy. And yeah,
I will say, we should mention this now. Just because we have talked about Ridley Scott quite a bit on the stream before we get to the final news topics. Napoleon, not people liked it. And apparently, you know how there was the 4-hour cut, and that was kind of not seen for a while, and everybody's like, what's going on? It's called Napoleon: the Director's Cut is the name of it, and it has just been rated R for strong violence, grisly images, sexual content, and some nudity in language. So the fact that it was just rated means we're getting it soon.
We're getting it soon. Now, here's the thing. Do you think that it's going to go to theaters, or do you think they're just going to drop it on Apple Plus? Because there's no Blu-ray out, no DVD. It's only on Apple Plus.
I think they're just going to do it, the original plan for it. I don't know why they held it for so long. Maybe because of a lot of the strong disliking towards it. My guess is that it's just going to go to Apple TV Plus, because it's a 4-hour movie.
So is there not a physical release of Napoleon, or is there? There's not. Then they might do it a physical release, and it's the director's cut with the theatrical cut.
Well, Apple TV Plus isn't great at putting physical releases out.
That's such a shame. Come on, guys.
No Argyle, and no Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Why?
But the only thing they are doing is they're putting out they put out one with Paramount called Defending Jacob.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
And they put out they're going to be putting out Ted Lasso, the complete series. But that's a massive series. It's garnered many Emmy Awards, many nominations, and it's a beloved series for a good reason, a very good reason. Will you watch the 4-hour cut when it comes out to see the definitive cut?
Maybe. I think I might. I didn't watch the original version because I heard they were doing this one. But if this one's great, and I hear it's great, I'll probably check it out. Unlike the Rebel Moon director's cuts coming out in August, I will not be watching those because I watched the theatrical. I watched the theatrical. I don't like Zack Snyder.
Just standard.
Standard. Yeah, whatever. I will not be watching them just because they're each like 3 hours a piece. Part 1 is 3.5 hours long. I don't want to watch them if I'm probably not going to enjoy it. So I don't plan on topping those. But I didn't watch Napoleon. I'll probably check out this director's cut.
Wolverine Potter.
Absolutely.
And then the last comment before we go on to the box office is, I heard there's going to be a Gargoyles live-action movie. Is that true? There was rumors. We haven't heard any development on it, but that's a good question. As far as I know, it's in development. Now, do you think there's an audience for it? Because I don't hear a lot of people talk about the Gargoyles series.
I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what Gargoyles is.
Regarding Gargoyles, it should be noted there will not be a live-action film at the moment, but for Disney Plus, James Wan is developing a live-action series for it.
Yes.
So we are getting a live-action show from James Wan. Hopefully that answers your question.
And if you want something done in the horror world, you want it done by James Wan. Now, hopefully he's writing it and not just producing it, because we've seen what he's done when he just produces something.
Watchmen. Or what? Night Swim. What the fuck am I saying?
Were you trying to say Night Swim and Imaginary at the same time?
I said Watchmen, so I don't even know.
Oh my god.
What?
Wow.
Dude. Wrong DC project. James Wan didn't do Watchmen. He did the Aquaman movies.
No, I know. I don't know why I don't know why I'm thinking Watchmen right now.
I don't either.
I don't have Watchmen pulled up here because I have some of like the news that just came out, like the Ridley, like the Napoleon news and stuff. I have that up right now in the X-Men stuff. I don't know why I said Watchmen. All right.
Going into the box office, this is very exciting because this was a massive week for the box office. Let's take a look at this. We're going to take a look at everything because multiple big things happened that nobody's talking about. So, of course, we know the big three were Despicable Me, Inside Out 2, and A Quiet Place. Let's go to the weekend first to make it a little bit better. The weekend, 61% drop for A Quiet Place. That is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's already made its budget back. It's fine. What is a big deal is Maxine. Maxine making $6.7 million. So it's not profitable yet. It will be.
What
this
is
week.
the budget? Because I haven't been able to find it.
I've heard it's $3 million.
Okay.
$3 million. So you roughly need about 8.
If that's truly the box office for the movie, because I saw Maxine, by the way, I absolutely loved it. If that's the budget, what they were able to pull off for $3 million is insane.
Now, what's even more insane is look at the box office for Bad Boys. 36%. 36. Let's not discount that because this thing has kept going. This drop is insane. Second week, 40% drop. 44, 45, 36. It hasn't dropped 50%. It hasn't dropped 50% since it's opened. No movie does that. No movie does that. But look at this. If you want to see something insane, look at this. Fall Guy. Plus 129%. People are going out to see it. If your theater's still playing it, go out and see the Fall Guy. I liked it.
I liked it. Yeah. I will say, I looked up the Maxine budget, and I'm going to read what this said to me. Here, what Google said. According to Forbes, the official budget for Maxine is over $274.8 million, making it one of the most expensive MCU films to date.
Yeah,
what?
See? Yep. Yep. Now, I've heard $3 million. I could easily see it being $10 million.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it needs to be $10 million.
Oh, apparently it costs $2 million. So.
Oh, okay. So if you take a look at what X did $15 million. Not great. Not great. Not a massive hit. But for the budget of $1 million, that thing made bank.
Yeah.
Now for Pearl,
I think cost $1 million as well.
Yep. It took a bit of a drop at $10 million. So this thing is going to make more than Pearl, but it's not going to make as much as that, I don't think. So
yeah, $3 million is what I'm seeing the most constant of.
Yeah. So it's either $2 million or $3 million. I think it's awesome. Oh, before we keep going, Sav says it's almost 3 a.m. Bye. When is your next live stream? My next live stream, I'm going to guess, is Friday night. I'm going to do another episode of my show here. I'm going to try and tackle a couple of things. There's going to be more news topics, and I'm obviously going to be doing my reviews for A Quiet Place Day 1 and Despicable Me 4. But there's a Netflix Italian romance movie called Goyo that I would really like to watch. So I'm going to be watching that, giving my review of that, and then along the way, you don't know what I'm going to watch. I do have a couple screeners that I'll tell you guys about after stream that are not going to do great in views, but you know what? You're a critic. You get screeners. You got to review them regardless.
Unless you're like me, when I got a screener for a movie and I forgot to post my goddamn review.
Was that Easter Bloody Massacre?
Yes, it was. I think was it Easter Bloody Easter, Easter Bloody Massacre? I can't remember.
One of the two. They're the same movie.
It was a fun time. I'll tell you this now. I give the movie a 2 out of 4 or 2 out of 5. Not a great movie. I had a good time though. But I mean, I just forgot because by the time the movie came out, I already had another screening lined up for that Monday. I was gonna go watch a movie and review it.
Yeah.
And it just slipped my mind, unfortunately.
What time is it going to be your time? I'm going to say 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right now, it's going to be 7 p.m. on Friday. That I'll be going live again with Noah Kaser Live. I hope to see you there. Thank you for staying up for till 3 a.m. That is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you are like our friend Toby. He stays up late, and he doesn't sleep.
But he's in Norway, too, so there's a big time jump.
But thank you, Sav. It's always awesome to have you here. Check out these guys. Give them a sub and give them a like. Be in their comment section and tell them that Noah Kaser sent you.
Yeah.
So there's the box office. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix top 10. I do this every single week because you never know what's going to change. For multiple weeks now, the same 2 movies have been on the top 10. And that's Super Mario Bros. And Shrek. So,
interesting.
Let's take a look here. We're going to take a look. Here we go. The top 10. Number 1, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Number 2, A Family Affair. 3 Millions. 3 Minions, 4 The Blind Side, 5 Warcraft, 6 The Little Rascals, 7 Back to the Future, 8 Matilda, 9 Identity Thief, and this is scary. 10 Super Mario Bros. Movie. Is that going to be something that goes bye-bye in the top 10? Do you think that's a potential thing that we can say goodbye to when we have multiple movies dropping this week on Netflix?
Yeah, I think honestly Mario is gonna drop out of top 10, and then I'll give it a week, and it's gonna be right back in there.
I will say, happy to see Beverly Hills Cop Axel Axel F up there. Haven't seen the movie yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about
it. It's a really good movie, and I'm very excited to see A Family Affairs number 2. That thing deserves it. I don't get the hate for it, guys. I really don't.
I thought it looked really funny, so I still want to give it a watch.
It's very funny. The issue is there's not much chemistry, but you see the character growth in Zac Efron's character. He's very unlikable at the beginning, but the more you watch the movie, you see him grow as a man and grow as an actual character. And I love that because in rom-coms, you don't see the male grow. This is a different story. With him, sure, he's a Hollywood actor. He's doing these big blockbuster action movies, and he falls in love with his assistant's mom. We've seen multiple films like that. But you don't see character growth in rom-coms all that much. It's mostly just they fall in love, a small understanding or a small misunderstanding, and something stupid happens. With that, I like that. Minions, it's no wonder why it's number 3. The Blind Side shocks me. I don't know why that is number 4. Besides, it's now a beloved classic. 5, Warcraft, I don't understand. I heard that Warcraft was awful. I heard that the Warcraft film was completely awful. One comment here from Sav. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're awesome for staying up until 3 a.m. with us.
Absolutely.
That's why you're awesome. And then we're going to take a look at the Netflix shows because they do have a lot of stuff. But did you notice that there's only two Netflix originals on the movies?
Yeah.
And they're both in top 2 as well.
Take a look at the TV shows. If you go down here to the TV shows, 1.
I'm seeing a pattern.
Yep. The Man with 1,000 Kids at number 1. 2, Supercell. 3, Worst Roommate Ever. 4, Sprint. 5, Barbecue Showdown. 6, Suits. 7, America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. 8, Your Honor. 9, Owning Manhattan. And 10, Bridgerton. So,
are there only 2 in there that aren't Netflix originals?
Mm-hmm. So that's 5. And the only 2 that aren't is the 9th season of Suits and Your Honor. So now we know that the reason why Netflix is running is not because of the movies. It's because of the shows.
Yeah.
People binge that shit. Anytime they drop, I don't know anybody who's watching The Man with 1,000 Kids. I really don't. I don't know a single person.
Yeah.
Am I going to watch it now? Probably. I'm very interested. It's only 3 episodes. And there's a similar film. There was a movie that came out in 2015 with Vince Vaughn called Delivery Man, where he went to a sperm bank. He did the thing, of course.
Yeah.
And he has 500 children because his sperm got dispersed with all the other sperm. So now he's the main donor for 500 kids.
Wow.
And I believe that was on Netflix for a while. A very good film, but there's the Netflix top 10. And then the last topic is what's releasing this week in theaters and on streaming. We're going to cover streaming, theaters, and Blu-ray because that's what the source that I use, releases.com, covers. So
I will say real quickly, we did get some news about a Possession remake.
okay.
So Paramount Pictures is in the final talks to produce and distribute the film. Robert Pattinson is producing the film as well. And then Parker Finn, director of Smile, is tapped to write, direct, and produce the film. So we just got final confirmation on that kind of stuff.
Taking a look at the releases. We just jumped. That was great. I love that. Okay, here we go. Today, the 9th, Blu-ray, DVD, and VOD. We had The Boy and the Heron. Came out on a Steelbook, 4K, and Blu-ray at Walmart. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is now on VOD. If you don't want to wait for the Blu-ray here in a couple months, well, here in about 6 weeks, I think, go ahead and check it out now. The Bike Riders is on VOD. I like that movie.
I liked it too. Too soon to put it on digital platforms.
Way too soon. Garfield, however, it's the perfect time. It's been out since Memorial Day weekend. We're actually leaving the 4th of July weekend, so perfect time for that. Civil War came out today, along with Challengers and Abigail on Blu-ray and DVD. But this week on streaming and in theaters, massive. Longlegs, which we just talked about. We saw some of the reactions. That's great. Fly Me to the Moon. I've heard that's great. I had my buddy Kyle on last week. He gave his review for that. He said it was a very good date movie that he is insanely looking forward to maybe buying. That was a mystery movie that Regal, AMC, and Cinemark did that they do once or twice every month, and most of the time they're bad movies. Fly Me to the Moon was a solid surprise, he said.
Yeah, I'm debating whether or not checking it out this weekend. So I might. That's good to know. It's good.
I would say check it out, but I know you're seeing Longlegs first, 100%.
Yes, I am. I'm seeing Longlegs Thursday. If I do end up catching Fly Me to the Moon, it'll be sometime during the weekend.
And I don't know if you guys were watching the Disney Channel when the Descendants movies came out, but there's
Of course I was. On repeat.
Descendants, The Rise of Red. Are you guys going to be watching that?
Probably.
Yes,
Our grandma wants to watch it. Yeah, we watched the original 3 with our grandma, so we're probably going to watch the new one with her as well.
I will not be reviewing, though, I will say.
Yeah, there's no need. There's no need. The Convert is going to theaters, limited theaters, and VOD. Looking at everything else, it looks like is the Blu-ray and DVD. Where did my page go? There we go. Boy Kills World, Titanic the Musical, Abigail, Challengers. But that looks about everything. So, looking at what came out today, expanding upon that, The Exorcism came out on VOD today.
Purchase VOD, not on Shudder yet.
Not yet. I think that might be next month or September, depending on how much money it earns, how fast they put that thing out. The Mandela Effect Phenomenon is a VOD documentary. That sounds interesting. Dragon Keeper. My theater played Dragon Keeper, and I was very pissed off about it. I was very pissed. Something big came out that weekend, and they got that for a week instead of whatever it was. And I held the grudge. I said, I'm not going to go and see that. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't go and see it.
I think I remember you talking about it in the chat, though.
Oh, I was so pissed. Sorry Not Sorry, theaters and VOD. Tarot came out on Blu-ray and DVD. Garbage.
Yep.
Fast Charlie came to Blu-ray and DVD. DVD's available at Walmart for, I think, $13. Unsung Hero, the faith-based film with that was based on the story of the guys from For King and Country, who I really enjoy. Now we're moving into the stuff that I will be reviewing. We'll have Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black on Amazon Prime here on Thursday, along with a mystery thrill on Netflix called Vanish into the Dark. The Lion King is going back to theaters for its 30th anniversary, making me feel old. A Netflix movie that is going to be coming to Netflix the following weekend on the 19th. You can go and see it in limited theaters. Skywalker's A Love Story. That's part documentary, part romance movie. A foreign film called Blame the Game on Netflix. Sing Sing is releasing in limited theaters. That's supposedly one of the Best Picture nominees that is right now a front runner right behind Dune, Part 2. And a brand new horror film, actually 2 brand new horror films. The Inheritance with Peyton List, which actually looks really good. And The Blue Rose comes out on VOD and in cinemas. The Last Country is a low-budget film coming to VOD along with The Dancing Monkey. A Christmas film called Because We're Family is coming to VOD. I will be renting that one. And the last film that we will talk about, I believe. Yes, the last film, well, it went nowhere. That went bye-bye. It said, you're not going to talk about it, but we are anyways. It's a Netflix film called The Champion, a foreign film called The Champion. I'm interested in all of those, but you can expect reviews for at least a couple things next week, but not before then. So there's everything. Stay tuned for my next show, which will be on Friday. I'll talk about news. I'll probably talk about A Quiet Place Day 1. I'll talk about Despicable Me 4. I'll give you my review of Vanish into the Night, as well as Divorce in the Black, and all the news. Give these guys a like and subscribe on their channels. They deserve it. Get Camden to 300 subscribers and get Gavin to 1,100 subscribers. He's very, very close. You guys got me to 100.
I think I'm at 1,073 at the moment. I think that's what I'm at.
Yeah, and I just passed 200. Let's go.
Let's get Cam to 250. 250.
Let's do
on
it.
The grind. Now, as a YouTuber, I will say the first 100 subscribers is always the hardest.
Yeah, definitely.
Then it kind of breezes by. And then after 1,000, I think it does slow down again.
It really does. It slows down after 1,000, but what really helps is if I have this one channel I watch who gives great advice on YouTube, and he goes, hey, your channel might not be getting massive views, but they're subscribing for a reason. You have good videos. That's the reason you have over 1,000 subscribers. But there's that, guys. Like and subscribe if you're new. Comment down below what you thought of the stream. Give these guys a like and subscribe, and we will see all of you guys. Well, first, I got to ask this question. Would you guys want to come back on another time to do this show?
Absolutely.
Definitely. This was really fun.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
I will have these guys back on the week that Deadpool comes out. After we've all seen
it. I see the movie times opening again.
Well, you're cutting out completely.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll translate what he said. So he said he's seen it 3 times opening weekend. That's what I got from that. So
yeah, he's seen it 3 times, and later that week, after we've all seen it, I'm going to give people at least a week to see it before I do a open spoiler discussion where we'll go into full detail. But yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing it Friday and Monday. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it IMAX and 3D.
I don't know when I'm seeing it. I have to talk to the girlfriend because if not, I will get in trouble. And that's cause a breakup. Oh, and there went Cam. That's fine. But thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new, and we will see all of you guys next time.
So where did you go?